Hello and welcome to Wraggys brewing video. So I'm brewing, although I've had a nightmare, so I've had to cancel the video and just show you basically what I've got so far. So I'm doing the Big Skies Brewery. It's a Brewday Imperial Sticky Toffee and Pudding Imperial Stout. I reckon the last time that I got this kit, they reduced the amount of grain to fit the my fermenter, because obviously it's a brew in the bag fermenter. Hell of a lot of grain here. I think he dropped it down, and we had, because I remember putting in not lactose, liquid malt or something to drop that down and put liquid malt in. So I'm sure that's what happened last time, because there's a hell of a lot of weight in there. And anyway, so Marisotto grain, medium crystal, roasted barley, chocolate malt, Weyermann Carafa Special 2 grain, lactose is going in later, Lyle's golden syrup is going in later, there's dates, there's Magnum 12% hops, there's East Kent Goldings, they're going in on the boil, there's dates to go in, there's tonka beans to go in, there's toffee flavouring, there's yeast. So I poured it all in, and then what happened? The bloody bag dropped in, and I'd already started filling it with water by that time, so I had a nightmare job. In the end, I had to use bowls, flipping bowls, bags, and basically I had to get it all out, put it on again, really get it nice and tight. I obviously didn't tighten it up enough the first time, but I can't remember when I did it before. I don't remember it being this high. So I'm going to keep stirring it and stirring it and stirring it and come back to it. So, you know, a bit of a lesson learned, really. Sometimes with Imperial Stouts, it might be better to turn around to who you're getting it off. If you're using a Pico like me, say to them, look, I'm using a brew in the bag, you know, can we reduce the grain a bit so that it makes it easier, because there's a hell of a lot of grain here. I've got to I've not long put it on, so it's been on about 5 minutes. Got up to mash temperature, been 5 minutes. So make sure to thoroughly mix, and that's my job now. So I'm going to stand in the kitchen for an hour, keep bloody mixing it, and yeah. So this is for the 7th birthday of the channel. It's not gone right, you know, but hey ho. Like I said, there's a lot there. I'm just going to keep mixing it. And with any luck, you know, it'll turn out okay in the end. At the moment, I'm really down. So, yeah, cheers. So we're back. The mash process is done. We're in the sparge process, and the bag is ridiculous. I mean, I'm not joking. Yeah, I had to get my son to help. I lifted the bag out and got my son to help because it was just so heavy. The bits that are spilling over the side, there's nothing you can do about it. And this, I think, is the failure of a brew in the bag system. Like I said earlier, I think you need to go a little bit less grain and a bit more, you know, liquid malt and all that stuff. The last time I bought this, it was nowhere near. It was still big, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't anything like it was this time. It wasn't pissing over the sides like it is now. And I'm looking at we're about 24 litres, but obviously you've got brew off, boil off rather. So I want to make sure that I don't So I'm now going to squeeze the arse out of this fucking bag. It's bloody hot. It's not the easiest job in the world. When it's a smaller kit, it's a damn sight easier. I've got to be honest, it's times like this when I look at All Grain and I just think, oh, for the hassle. Yes, you can do stuff you can't do from a kit, but bloody hell, the hassle of it. Yeah, pain in the fucking arse. Just trying to get more of the fluid out now, as much as I can, because I've got to lift this to the back door. So, I ain't got a suitable bucket on hand, so oh dear. There's some major collateral damage with regards to water and crap. My kitchen looks like a fucking war zone. Oh God, I hope it turns out right in the end. How not to brew an Imperial Stout. I mean, I've brewed Imperial Stouts that have been fantastic from kit, and you know the hassle's been not been there. This one, well, the hassle is there, and it's there in a long way. Now I know I'm going to lose a couple of litres through boil. I'm also probably going to lose a litre or so with the hops. So, you know, the sparge thing always makes me chuckle because it looks like we're just under 25 litres, but like I say, you're going to lose some. So, just boil the kettle up a little bit and get some. Now the sparge water is supposed to be 75 degrees. It ain't easy getting that right, I tell you. So just going to get another litre, just warm it up a bit and pour it in, and once I've reached that, I'm all done and there's not much I can do about it, to be fair. Look at my kitchen, flipping out. Need a beer. So anyway, I'm going to pour that bit on. I'm going to get rid of that, pour it on, get it up to about 27 and get as much of the juice out as possible, and then I'm just going to get it to the boil because you know, time's ticking away anyway. So I'm going to up it now so it starts to get to the boil. There we go. So at least while I'm prattling around, it's already doing its thing. This has been the toughest encounter so far. With it falling in, and I just hope I get somewhere near a decent ABV and thickness and everything else, because otherwise it's a lot of hassle. Fucking hell, never again. I'm not doing an Imperial. I'm not using that to do an Imperial Stout again. I'll go and buy the kit. It's far easier. 5 hours of prattling around for 45 quid. It's 45 quid and I'm doing this. Yeah. No. I'm not doing it again. Oh dear. Hey, live and learn. Live and learn. Live and learn. Back soon. So, we're now at the stage where it's at 91.5 degrees. So it's getting near boiling temperature, getting closer. So here's the rest of the ingredients that I didn't show earlier because, I had a nightmare. I'm not thinking this is going to turn out great, but that's lactose, tonka beans. Funnily enough, the dates aren't here, so it's got something about dates, and yeah, 250 grams of dates, but they are not here. So yeah, sticky toffee pudding. There we go. Op 2, that's East Kent Goldings, 25 grams there. So yeah, tonka beans, which are there. Nottingham yeast, which is there, 35 grams of Nottingham yeast, big pouch of Nottingham yeast. This goes in at the start of the boil. Magnum, 65 grams of Magnum hops, and then obviously the golden syrup that goes in towards the end. So because we've not got the dates, I don't know what the dates do to it. I suppose they give a bit of flavour or maybe something, I'm not sure, but they're missing anyway. So no, I got no time to go out and fetch dates because I'm here, you know. So they're going to be off. I don't know what they add to the brew or not. So you know, it is what it is on that side of things. So let me take this off and show you. There we go. So keep the lid on because I want it to, and there we go. There it is. It's bubbling away. I have no idea how strong it's going to end up being because, like I said, the last time I did this, it was nowhere near as nowhere near. There was a lot of grain, but there was nowhere near that amount of grain. You could still see the water slightly above, or the wort, as it, you know, they call it. So it may not be the Imperial Stout that I was hoping for. This now tells me that my kit is not sufficient to brew an all grain Imperial Stout, and I'm better off just sticking to kits and using like dark malt and stuff like that to you know, chucking that in to get the same effect that I want, a nice thickness. A mate of mine, a Dungeon Brewing, and top class lad, doing his brewing, and you know, I chatted to him on the and he's told me to get this, yeah, dark malt, dark spray malt, so use that next time. So I will. I'm going to do an extract kit soon, but I'm going to bump the ABV up, but instead of using I'm not going down the grain route again. I can't be done with it, you know. For me, the hassle, the bloody mess, the hassle, yeah, I just my patience is, it's all right if that's your job every day, brewing, but my job, I've got my own job, gardening, and I just haven't got the time to prat around. And then when stuff's not in the kit, yeah, so I don't know what the dates would actually do. We're on 96 now, so we're getting closer. So we'll keep flitting in and flitting out. You know, at least you can see the issues that I'm having. yeah, the issues that I'm having, and you know, you can make your own mind up whether you still fancy the all grain route or you want to. I mean, I dare say, I mean, the last time I did this, I had nowhere near the amount of hassle, and it worked out really well. The beer itself was absolutely amazing. So something was different when it was sent to me, but this time there's a lot more grain, and yeah, it's been a struggle. I mean, I've stirred it around as much as I could to improve the efficiency. I mean, they reckon on here at 70% efficiency, it should come out at 9.6%. We'll see. I'm still going to have a bag of sugar anyway, because Wraggys beer reviews all over. But yeah, we'll see what pans out. I've got to be honest, I think my best kits that I've ever done were the Muntons Milk Stout kits. When I brewed two together, they were crazy. Yeah, I needed a much bigger fermentation vessel because of the you know, but the beer itself was off the charts amazing. So something for me next time. I think I'm going to try and get a 50 litre. If you can get them, fermentation vessel, and do those kits again. And yes, if I have to buy the kits and not get them cheap, but at the end of the day, I think it will turn out to be an amazing beer. It's all about if you can get them at the right price at the right time. So we're on 98%, 98 degrees now. Obviously these are going in, so I can get back to some sort of brain, because my brain's been frazzled with what happened earlier, and yeah, it kind of killed the day, killed the vibe for me this time. You know, it is what it is, can't win them all. And then my flipping dishwasher broke as well, so yeah, another good thing. But if anything, people looking at these videos think how not to do it, and I'm sure I'm the person who how not to brew a bloody beer. You know, and I brewed beers for years, and I still make, you know, screw ups. But yeah, it is what it is on that side of things. Right, we're getting there. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Don't call me Shirley. So yeah, once it gets to 102 boiling, once it gets there, I'm gonna add the hops. I'm using one of these bags. Got it from Tesco's. It's what you get your veg in, but it stops a lot of the sedimenty stuff, just the slushy stuff, the slurry going into your beer. So there's less wastage. There's not. It don't get rid of it all. Trust me. But it does. It lets the hops go into the beer and do whatever they need to do. But the stuff that doesn't disappear, it's at least, you know, you'll be able to take that out, tie it up a bit higher up, so it drains off as well towards the end, or right at the end. So yeah, 99.7, and oh, I mean, it's bubbling up. I'll show you what the beer looks like. Yeah, I think when things go wrong, you get a bit despondent, and I've kind of been that way tonight. So I've done the mashing, I've done the sparge water. Again, that was a barrel of laughs because of how much there was to sparge. And again, you know, for me, an extract kit or even 2 extract kits with a bit of flavouring and a bit of body added, you know, you could get 2 stout kits 2 stout kits, and you could do it, and then use make sure you've got enough yeast to burn things off. Get some dark malt, lactose. There's things you can do that should balance it out. I would have thought anyway. But yeah, it's not what I was hoping for. I was hoping for a really glorious bloody brew, but at the moment it's like crap. So 101 now, and it's bubbling. So here we go. I'll show you it bubbling, and then I'm gonna add the hops. So there we go. It's bubbling. Yay! So we've got 60 minutes from now. So obviously it's not worth showing you until the last 10 minutes. So the time is 6:37. So 6:37. I'm now going to add the hot one, the Magnum hops. There's the hops, green as usual. I'll chuck these into the bag. Make sure you get them all in, because some of them are like little critters. There we go. And then drop that in. And now, yep, we'll just tie that bag up. Oh. Right. I'll just tie it around there so it don't go too far in. And yeah, we'll see what it does. I mean, it's got a nice colour to it. It's got a nice dark colour to it. Yeah, we'll see. You know. There we go. You can just see it now. It's bubbling away. Whether it's as thick as it was going to be, I don't know. I don't know. I'm a slight bit despondent, shall we say, but hey ho, you know, it may turn out to be good in the end. I may have actually done well, but we'll see. So back in about 50 minutes. So 27 minutes past 7 is when I need to put it back on and start again. Cheers all. Hello, so we're now back 10 minutes before the end of boil. There we are. So it's time to add, wow, fucking hot. It's time to add the East Kent Goldings Hop 2, which is 25 grams. So I'm going to add these. Into the brew. And into my bag. Oh, that is hot. So, yep, some more left in. Oh, yeah, that's hot. And again, tie it up, drop the bag in. I find for me that it stops like all the gunk getting in. So at the end of the day, less gunk at the end, more chance that you're going to get something you can drink rather than gunky stuff. I know with All Grain that the loss with the gunk at the bottom is loads, and I mean, say I do a St. Peter's beer kit, the loss is negligible. So I've got 10 minutes now, no 5 minutes actually. Right, so literally 4 minutes time to add the lactose and stir it in. Let me take the lid off a bit so I can get to it. fact, let me ditch away the lid now. Last few minutes. And it's a solid black colour now. Let me show you the colour. Well, not quite black, but so there's the colour bubbling away. I pray and hope it turns out okay. Hopes and aspirations and all that. So 5 minutes from the end, lactose powder. So let me get rid of this so I can clean as I go along. This is going to want a good stir in as it goes in. I know this from when I did Ragnify with Alter Ego. You know, put it in but stir it in as it's going in. Stop it sticking to the element at the bottom. And I've done this before and it stuck to the bloody element. So I know that's true. So 2 minutes to go. Yeah, like I said about kits, the St. Peter's extract kit, literally no wastage. You know, 23 litres, you get 22.89 litres. It's ridiculously good. These kits, I have no idea what amount of gunk, you know, the crappy bit that you can't use is going to be at the bottom. But we'll see, I suppose, won't we? You know, at the end of the day. I may actually leave it in there and just do the leave the kit in there, so that when I take it out right at the end, obviously the hops are going to go out. Yeah, transfer to a fermenter. So I might well leave it in and take the hops out, because I don't want the hops in there for obvious reasons. Chuck the yeast in and just see how it goes. Although it's as manky as hell, look at the state of it. Look at the state of my kitchen. Wife's going to be well pleased. So, time for this to go in now. So I'm doing it as far away from the element as possible. As it goes in, it seems to be dissolving quite quickly, hopefully. Get a good stir round. So that's the lactose out of the way. Now the golden syrup. Right, time to chuck the golden syrup in. It's been in the hot water. Pull that bit off the top. And again, chuck this in and get a stir as I'm doing it. And there we are, that's going in nicely. A bit left in, so I'm just going to grab a bit, swill it in, just to make sure I get the rest of it out. And again. Now 5 minutes, and then I'm going to let it cool down. So I'm going to come back when I pitch the yeast, because it's not worth showing you the cooling down bit. It's as boring as hell. Cheers. Hello and welcome to the final part of the brew. I'm actually leaving the beer in this fermenter now. I actually brewed it in earlier. It's turned out a nice black colour. I'm hoping it turns out decent. Hydrometer reading is, chuck it in. Do you know, since it's cooled down, it's actually gone up. It's just over 1100 now. So I think the gravity it's going to get down to is roughly about 1026. So 9%, 9.5. I did chuck a bag of sugar in. So I've been lucky there, because if I hadn't, the starting gravity would have been lower. Because of the sheer amount of grain, not getting it, you know, that efficiency up. If I do, next time I do an all grain kit, I'll actually save the likes of this. I'll save and I'll ask them for the ingredients, but I'll tone it down, and you know, ask them for the actual ingredients I want. Or go and get my own ingredients. And but anyway, there's the Nottingham yeast, loads of Nottingham yeast. So plenty of yeast to sprinkle on the top. I've got it down to 20 degrees. It has been a long bloody night. I'm not joking. A long night. Not the greatest night. I've not enjoyed this brew at all. But there we go. It's already going to kick in. There's a good space above. I've actually brewed more than the actual kit is actually 19 litres and I've brewed 25. So in some ways, if I'd have brewed 19, the ABV would have gone up sufficiently. So in some ways, you know, I probably got more out of the kit than, yeah, what I should have done. So it may well be slightly thinner than it would have done, but the last time I did it, I did the same. So, albeit, let's be fair, that it's not over with any beer kit. It's not over till the fat lady sings. until you're bottling it, because you don't know how much crap and sediments in the bottom. So I could end up with about 20 litres in the end. I know this because I've done this before with these blooming kits. But that is it. I'll give updates when it's ready. Cheers. Or in between. Cheers, man.